Welcome to another episode of Brainrich Podcast. I'm here with Dave. We're going to talk about the benefits of indoor and outdoor activities for kids using different types of equipment, so stay tuned.
My name is Viet Lee. I am the CEO of Boulder Play. We have a wide variety of products. We're manufacturers as well as retailers, direct to consumers and wholesalers of products that progress with our children. But what we make it that encompasses from the age groups from 3 to 18. You have indoor and outdoor toys. One of our patented products, the stair slide. Everybody, for the most part, if they do own a house and they do have a stairs, like you can have an indoor play group. So we also have other toys and activities based. I think the premise of our company is creating activities for kids to challenge them, overcoming some of their fears, doing a lot of things that make them creative and do activities versus just sitting on an iPad or an iPhone or something like that. There's a huge trend right now. You see that kids are developing myopia at a younger age, or that nearsightedness. Right? I think in addition to stuff like that, we want to make it engaging with our slack lines and swing lines, where you can add different attachments and accessories. All our stuff is so modular, you can accessorize and buy little bits and pieces and continue to add.
Nice, that's awesome. Where are you guys located?
So we are based out in Utah. The reason why in Utah, a big thing in Utah is camping and RVing. They move around in their RVs, they go from place to place, and then they camp and they sit there for a while. These products that we have, if there's 2 posts or 2 trees, they can carry it with them. It's a very small box that you put it in, and they can take it along and the kids can still enjoy it.
That's awesome. Even for summertime, yeah, you just had this idea. It never occurred to me. But this is so cool. I do travel with my family too, but we haven't experienced like traveling outdoors that much. Usually it's just 1 to 2 days and I'm just like, okay, pack and go.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit of story behind it. Why did you start specifically focusing on the kids' developmental products like that?
So we acquired this company. We saw a lot of opportunity in these products and we saw the challenges. Like I have 3 kids. My oldest is 9 years old. I have a 2-year-old daughter and 3-month-old son. And these really apply to me because my kid, before these products, all they do is sit there on an iPad. We have a yard, but they like the iPads and iPhones and it occupies a lot of their time. The biggest challenge for me is getting them away from that. But the way to do that is to give them an activity that's fun and creative. And it resonated with me because growing up when I was in high school, as part of a leadership program, we went to a ropes course. And during that ropes course, they do that for a lot of companies where they tie these zip lines and these slack lines over trees that are like 30 to 40 feet in the air. You have safety harnesses and it challenges you, right? Because you have to overcome your fear. And then what do you do to work as a team? And doing that, develop that leadership skill that you can do this at a younger age. It occupies their mind instead of looking at YouTube all the time and things like that. And I'm not saying there's a good purpose for that as well in time and space, but we want to make sure that they're also doing things outside of being active. I think obesity is another challenge that you have at a younger age as well. That's where I was gravitated to this company. Now I'm leading this company. I want to expand on that and making sure I work with a lot of different elementary children, early age development programs. I think it's good stuff and it just reflects and it resonates with me because I have young kids.
That's pretty cool. Well, I have 3 kids as well.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter, she was the inspiration behind it. My brother started a company, so Brainrich is his company.
Yeah.
And we lived in Seattle before, rainy Seattle, crazy winters. And she was bouncing walls when she was 1.5. And my brother is like, you need a gym. So we're from Ukraine originally. And we grew up with similar type of gym. It was smaller. Probably like similar to T3 model that we have right now, just the climbing stairs and then just like swing, gymnastics and broken things like that, because apartments are small there. My brother, he started researching. There are smaller versions, like wooden gyms here, but kids outgrew them super quick. But the gym that we grew up, we use it for like at least for 10 years for sure, because it's just a centerpiece in our bedroom all the time. That's my childhood memories. So for us, we always been active. We did sports, so we never gonna have that any other life to compare if we would raise without a gym. My oldest, when she started to use a gym, and within a few months, I can start already seeing the difference when kids are staying active, become more agile, more stronger compared to their kids at their age as well. For my brother, the whole company took off. Also, we started doing this podcast and educating parents on the benefits of active playing. And as you said, there is a time and space for a little bit of an iPad. when you look at the nutrition, you don't really eat 100% of the time quality food.
Right.
Here and there, you have a slice of pizza. You do have some kind of junk food. If you look at the electronics as a junk food, you have to compensate with something good for the brain, for the body. That's an analogy for physical activities like that. And there are multiple tools that parents can use for different age groups and stuff. It's just super beneficial for them. Yeah.
You brought up a really good point about developing grip strength. And I'll give you a really good example. It's just a little monkey bar. It's one straight bar. My 2-year-old daughter was able to hold herself up for like 10 seconds, which is amazing for me because she's doing all these active stuff. My son, when he was 7 years old, he still couldn't do it himself. The weirdest thing, because he didn't have all these opportunities. My wife and I, we both worked at Amazon at the time, so we're very familiar with Seattle. We worked a lot, so he was just home. He didn't get to do a lot of that stuff. He did his homework and he maybe played soccer, but he didn't have these opportunities like he does now, because now that I'm with this company, I'm bringing down all these toys all the time and developing it. But my 2-year-old daughter can hold herself up. So that confidence that she has as a 2-year-old, I didn't see in my son until he was 4 or 5. And then he didn't develop that better upper body strength till later, like a couple years later. So I could see the difference, the stark difference between my oldest and my second and my middle child.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point because with my oldest one, and we kind of installed the gym when she was 1.5. So I didn't also have anything to compare from her point of view before and after. But we started gymnastics with her around the same time. I think 1 or 2 times a week, just those like kid baby gymnastic classes. So when babies hold a bar, my daughter, she would always hold. She was just like hanging there. And the teacher, she would be like, hey, we need to kind of take her off because of her joints. It's like she cannot kind of weight herself up for too long. Still, it's not really good for her joints. But she would just hold. I was like, I can't really take her off because that's what she's is doing at home. She's like, always hold it. And I do see a difference actually that you mentioned. My girls, they're always using monkey bars right now at home. And we have a neighbor, he's 9 years old, and he cannot even do the same amount of monkey bars that my girls can do, even at 5. Yeah.
And it's a big difference. So in the monkey bars, if you're really thinking about it, it takes grip strength. But I think the second component of it is you have to have the confidence in letting go of one hand to get to the next transition point. My daughter isn't there yet, but she will get there faster. But like you have to develop that first. And the next stage is like trusting your strength and quickness to go grab the next one and go. Right. And I think you can see that as kids develop, especially on the monkey bars. And that's kind of like how I'm dissecting it and looking at it. Okay. So if you can develop confidence in a child younger, they will do more things later in life because they have confidence. They're not scared and things like that.
That's true. Neurodivergent kids that have challenges like physical challenges and maybe even going to the park is challenging because some autistic kids, they're really sensitive to noise and people around them and stuff. So we found in our community, we have about 30-40% of neurodivergent kids that use our product at home, and it's kind of tool to regulate themselves. It's a safety piece of equipment that they can train. They know what to do. So next time when they go to the park, they already know how to use monkey bars. So it's another confidence booster.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like our kid trick swings. These are swings that you could put on the door. And we're trying to innovate that right there because for most part, most people have a door if they have more than one room. Attach these things. Right now, we only have a swing, but we want to do like rings and stuff like that they can hang on. And yeah, they're in the comfort of their own home, comfort in their own environment before they go out and do other stuff. And again, it's still building confidence.
Yeah, awesome. If you had any closing thoughts that you wish every parent would know?
It's really hard. And I'll tell you, like the biggest challenge for me, and I've spent like 6 years in the insurance industry managing risk and things like that. My mindset is really hard to let go of letting my kid challenge themselves. They do things where I'm so scared. I don't want them to get hurt. So that I build a bubble around them and I'll get really overprotective. I'm afraid they're going to get hurt. But also at the same time, I don't realize they're not that far off the ground. Their fall is going to be me falling. It's not the same. And it's part of them like overcoming that. Well, it's just the pain. How do they manage that pain? Or is it really something broken? Or is it because they were just scared and they got shot and they started crying? Right? I think you have to give them the opportunity to manage that. And by doing so is like giving them the opportunity to do things that they want to do. Like maybe like you see a kid climbing a tree, for example. You know, I think initially my first thought is like, oh my goodness, I cannot let him do that. He's going to get hurt or she will get hurt. Then over time, I was like, okay, it's actually giving them a chance because maybe it's not easy to get to now, but they continue to keep trying And then maybe a few months, maybe a year later, now they're moving up one branch to another. And that's part of development. And as a parent, especially a first-time parent, you have to like allow them to do that. Like for me, it took me a long time. And now that I realize it, my daughter gets a little bit more than my son. And then my other son, he's an infant. He'll probably get the easiest life because I'm letting him do a lot more. And a lot of first-time parents, oh, they're so precious. I don't want to do anything. But then you end up building this bubble around them. They don't have any confidence. They're very, very alive because they've never done anything.
I'm actually the opposite parent from you. My kids are, if this is a climbing structure, my kid's going to be on top of climbing structure. They will find a way to kind of climb up there. And I'm like just standing right there. And I was like, okay, you can step right there. And there's another step right there. So just make sure you watch your step. I can see other parents around me. It's like, are those your kids? I was like, are they kids? I'm like, yeah, they're fine.
That's perfectly me. Before, I used to always be 2 inches away from them, going into this, holding them, embracing them. Now I'm sitting on the bench, watching them from afar, maybe reading a book or stuff like that, or reading emails. But now I'm not as like scared as I was before. I think it was my mindset. I had to overcome my own personal fear.
Yeah. If you are too anxious, kids will read that energy from you, and then they will be more cautious as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, very good point.
Thank you.
I think we kind of cover a lot, right? It's just like the benefits of play and just kind of have the risky play factor. Once the kids get trained, so the risky playing factor comes with you knowing your child's ability because you watch them at home. Once you have proper equipment, proper setup, you do see how your child is progressing and gets better and builds confidence and strengths and stuff. But then you're less worried as well, which is the coolest part.